Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 8 of WOR. This time around we're here for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Of course the real life race went ahead over last weekend, but we are returning here tonight. If you missed out on the video that went live last week from Le Castellet, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But hopefully now, if I've done my editing correctly, there will be the point standings appearing on your screens. MEJ still way out in front. They're double the points now of anyone else on 162 there to Barney's 81. And Nail still in P3 on 67 ahead of Risks, Talentless, and there we are currently sat in P6. So yeah, really not many points at all from third place down to ourselves there. I mean, Barney isn't too far away either. But of course, yeah, with this season, oh no, it's 14 races long, so it's not quite that MEJ can wrap up the title just yet. It's going to have to keep showing up for a couple more weeks at the very least. But Bahrain, though, it's a track I've done no league racing around on F122. It's not my favourite track in the world, to be honest, on this game, so we'll see how tonight goes. Right, well, of course, there is a very, very slim and non-existent chance tonight that qualifying or the race could be wet. It is, well, it's not really sunny skies either, is it, here from Sakhir, but haven't been able to get much practice in ready for the race tonight. I've only done about, to be honest, I've done about 6 laps of practice, so things can only go well here. But I've done so many laps around this track, of course, on F122, like pretty much every track. I should be able to find my way around fairly quickly. It's just how far off the pace will be. Right, let's go then for my first lap. Like I said, probably need to do a bit better than we did at Le Castellet last time around. Actually just get a decent banker on the board and then make sure we don't make mistakes on my other runs. That was probably my worst qualifying session of the year so far, and I think the only time I've started outside the top 10, unless my memory's failing me. Let's try and get a good one first of all. Not quite what I had in mind. We've almost done a Nikita Mazepin. Well, I've tried to be very, very careful with the fuel, but it is going to be incredibly tight. We're going to try and go for a run on this first set of tyres, but of course now if something goes wrong, we'll just peel back into the pit lane then. Just learning still the limits around this venue, and yeah, if we do manage to get this lap on the board, we are not going to have much fuel left. Whoa! I've never found that wall before. That was impressive. This is going to be a bit more difficult than I thought then, apparently. I was worried then that was going to completely write off the car. But at least we're not trying to stretch around on fuel. Right, well, on to attempt 3 then. Not of course, that anyone's counting early on in this session. Apparently, obviously, running these more aggressive setups certainly is making the car a lot more leery. But hopefully, if we get it hooked up, it is going to be a lot quicker as well. This lap, I'm probably going to have to run at 95%. I need to get a time on the board. I'll head it down in towards the final corner now. I don't even know what provisional time we'd have set on the board, but we are a long way up on the Delta. Has not been the best lap in the world there, as there we go, Risks onto a 28.3. What time are we going to set? There goes 28.3, a 29.5. It puts us P16. So impressive that the entire grid's covered by a second. But yeah, there were a few little mistakes on that lap. There's at least another half a second on the table, at least. Right, well, the field spread's still incredibly tight. Fastest times, though, down towards a 28.0, so we are going to need a worldie of a lap. I want to try and push myself towards the front, but yeah, I just want to try and get a better lap time on the board there, at least get down into the 128s. It is so difficult around this venue, but we're going to have to give it our all.
That's just 30 seconds left in the session.
No! Oh, 3.5 tenths up. Let's see what the time could have been there. It's heading down in towards the final corner. It still wasn't a particularly brilliant lap. Really have to struggle for confidence. I don't know what's happened to me on this game over the last couple of weeks, but rounding through the final corner up towards the line, it could have been, yeah, down at the very least into the 128. That 29.0 would have put us P13 at very worst, but it's going to be a fight from the back then here in Bahrain. My pace is just completely fallen off there. Yeah, we would have been close with Ivo and XRT Spike there come the end of the session, but still just lacking some time. Nothing is working at the moment for me on this game. There we go then, having a look at our final times. Luke! I didn't even know he was qualifying! Luke's gone on pole here for our split 7 race. I didn't even know he was going to be showing up there. Jonah in P2 ahead of Risks and MEJ there, but we're going to be starting this one right down towards the rear of the field. I'm going to have to go hards medium, so I'm starting P17 with the second slowest car to set a lap time. We are going to need to try and find something, alternate strategy, and pray for a safety car. Oh god, I've got to remember to get me gloves on because there's no formation lap. I think luckily we've got someone else struggling as well. 5 red lights coming on then here in Bahrain. I always forget this. Lights out and away we go. I completely get why we don't use formation laps, but every week I seem to forget about it there. It's actually not bad hookup. Just trying to head down in towards someone. I mean, it's probably going to be very, very contactful there, as there is definitely contact up the road. Someone losing part of their front wing there, as we'll just try and hang it around the outside through turn 1. Oh, I was so worried then that Adrian was going to unghost, which he did, off the exit corner there. But see Nail running slightly offline as well. As here comes Barney trying to look up the inside. No, we'll think better of it. And of course, there's just a car spinning in the middle of the road and no one else goes anywhere near him apart from me, and I'm left with nowhere to go halfway through the corner. So that basically now confines us to, I think, yeah, double mediums to the end of the race. There seems to be even more carnage and contact going on, but yeah, unless we get a safety car, that's probably my evening ruined, to be honest, as they're 3 wide down into turn 10. There's more front wings going, as Barney's just being absolutely shadow round at the bottom of the hill there, and we're going to be drag racing with him on corner exit. However, of course, he won't have any front wing damage, so yeah, I don't think, I mean, yeah, we'll pretty much just give him back the place, to be completely honest. There's no real point in fighting with him at the moment, as I think both Alpines have got issues. Looks like that Haas has got a drive-through, so must have jumped the start, but I'm just trying to avoid warnings on this opening lap, whereas I've got no idea what Manny's doing in that Alpine, sorry, is rounding out the final corner. Then Luke seems to have had a terrible start as well at the front of the race. Jonah into the lead, but yeah, a couple of other cars having to peel into the pit lane there. Like I said, no, my teammates had to pit. Oh, dearie me, this just goes from bad to worse. So I think that's both Alfa Romeos and both Alpines in at the end of lap 1 and a Haas car for our troubles. Manny's had enough, so that's going to even more ruin Ivo, as I think that's going to now mean the pit stop's taking longer. Niels is gone, and we've got a virtual safety car. Can't we get a full one, please? I'm begging. Give us a full safety car. Oh no, we're just losing time. There's more carnage and chaos going on. I can see up on the mini-map there, as let's go once again. This has been a bit dramatic early on. Luckily, of course, we won't lose as much time courtesy of that VSC, but we're still not really in a great spot. This is probably one of the longest virtual safety cars of my life, but we are about to go green flag racing then once again here in Bahrain. And yeah, this one, I made a comment last week that the Castellet was quite a lonely afternoon for us. I think this one is going to be far worse. Oh, we've got more yellow flags out. Williams down at turn 2. So easy to loop around there, and of course even easier when you're going side by side with another car. But looks like Trap Paulos, of course, battled, well, I say battled, we were in close proximity to him throughout a lot of Le Castellet, or is the car in front of me. He's had to pit, so is he going to have to go softs then hards? I don't know. Oh, more yellow flags. I think that's Demi. Yes, it is. A Nascar spinning at the top of the hill. People really are struggling early on this evening. But still, no freebies for us. More cars spinning off. Every time I look at the mini-map, another one's gone round. That time, it's a Ferrari. So, yeah, I mean, this is all just beating me to a false sense of hope that we could get a safety car today. I still can't see us getting one. Although behind me's gone. This is under less pressure, but still I can see Demi and Trap battling up the road. Speedy, my teammate as well, not far in front of them, and then there's a big old gap up to the next few cars. Nope, and Ivo's had enough as well. Both Alpines out then early on, and I am therefore officially last still of the runners. Oh no. That's not going to do our medium tyres any favours. Go for a nice little 360 then, you know, for the style points and all that, and that's going to really cook them as well, and lose us a bag of time to the cars in front. We're only on lap 6 of 29, dearie me. So, we've got yellow flags out. I think Demi's gone and joined me in that regard. We'll make a place. P16 is now ours. And, of course, as soon as we get a spot, you've got to retire. Apparently, I have to be in last for as much of this race as possible. Appears to be the rule. Oh, Amber Bale's gone. The Williams then out of the session. That will promote us to P50. Yes, we've got a safety car! Oh, thank you, good sir. We can go back onto those hard tyres then that we started this race on and see if we can take them through to the checkered flag. But I've been given a lifeline. This race won't be a complete snooze fest. Potentially, I mean, we could get taken out again, who knows. Oh, right, okay then. So MEJ, I think, couldn't pit under the safety car originally, or he was ahead of the pit lane entry when that safety car came out. So of all the people I thought we might be ahead of in this race, MEJ was certainly not the one I was going to put my money on, but I think therefore he's going to go mediums to the end. I think Risks is the only car that stays out there then, so that is a big, big gamble from him. Hoping we get a safety car later on in the day. But yeah, we're into P14, but to be honest, it'll probably be a case of let MEJ by and then try to follow him to the front, because he always finds himself there, and then we turn him on the last lap. I don't know. Safety car in then at the end of this lap. To be honest, the only other thing that's worrying me is just how many cars around me are on the mediums. Can they just easily make it to the end and I'm going to be sat out here on a set of hards? I don't know just yet, but Risks I think is going to be leading the way. I think it's Jonah, therefore in the AlphaTauri right behind him. Of course, like I said, everyone else has taken the pit stop, so Risks is the only one out of sync. But I would rather people stop weaving and actually just focus on bunching up, because this is where you get issues on F122. Car's not going for it there, as I'm guessing Risks has gone. Heading out the final corner. Cold rubber, come on. Get it working. Out of the final turn we go. Green flag racing once again then. And MEJ not able to stay close to me either, as trapped there. Desperate to break the turn or get a good look. I don't really know. On the run back down towards turn 1. Let's see if there's more carnage and chaos then. There certainly has been early on in this race. I was just nowhere near any of it. As of course our hard tyres are going to take a little bit longer to work their way up than the mediums of everyone else, but all I can hope for is of course that their tyres all start to hit the cliff towards the end of the race. But to be honest, with 16 laps I'm not really expecting it to be the case there. Nail and Trap side by side up the top of the hill. I think Nail is just about hung on, so we are still just sat here trying to work some speed up. To be honest, I think the first time MEJ goes for something I'm just going to let him have it off this restart. No real point in us fighting him quicker and on softer tyres. And like I said, I'm hoping this race can come back to me towards the end, but honestly I'm not going to hold my breath. Risks still at the front there. I think that must be Jordan then that's battling for the podium places, as they're 3 wide further up the road. I'm trying to allow MEJ to get closer, but he's just saving as well at the moment, so I've got no idea what's going on. In many ways I kind of want him to go past me so I can follow him along, but I guess that's not quite going to happen yet. Might be waiting for the DRS as well. There we go, there's Nail. That's another freebie for us then. P30. Now's another one's hit the wall. Come the top of the hill. Is that Luke? We've got an Aston Martin there off the road. We're going to go down the middle, and suddenly we've gone from 14th to 11th then. And this is what I mean. You just start getting this carnage and chaos kicking off around this circuit there, as Trap trying to look for something. We're going to end up accidentally going down the inside of my teammate there. Did not want to hit the back of him and potentially pick up some damage, and this is where league racing gets a bit scary, because you never quite know what people are going to do. Hot Speed and Trap coming together. We got all over the diffuser of my teammate. But yeah, Spike, I don't know whether he's then boxed onto those tyres to see him through to the end, or whether he was also caught out under the safety car. I don't think so. But you just see there everyone trying to go for moves. There's big opportunities to try and gain some places. Oh, do not nudge that curb there as well. There we go. I'm going to get sent up the inside. They're almost 3 wide. Oh, there's 2 more gone. That's my teammate and Trap then. We were trying to actually get a switch back on Spike off the corner there, and they were almost 3 wide. We could have made it 4 though. Spike just chucks it into that final corner. Jonah, new fast lap of the day, but MEJ now all over the back of me. Ferrari into the pit lane as well. They must have picked up damage. And suddenly we're into 9th. I'm getting 5 places on that lap. And I don't think I actually completed sort of a standard overtake in all of those goings on. So really it is just about trying to stay out of trouble. Let's see how many more places we can gain. That's going to be our second warning. That was really stupid. They're running very, very wide just up the road, but I've got to make sure I stay in the DRS of these cars there. Spike still. Of course, like I said, on those hard tyres, we've got no excuse to be slower than him. But when are we going to see risks into the pit lane then in this race? Because of course that should be another 3v4. So I mean, this battle pack extends up into P5. They're effectively P4 in this race. Is Spike trying to look for something on hot speed? Won't do anything again. Just a little bit of locking up there. Just got to be careful as MEJ. Got to remember, we have still got MEJ right behind us, and to be honest, he's probably the last person I want to crash into in this league. Got a lot of respect for that super speed there. As you can see, the 2 cars up the road again, side by side. Are we going to be able to find anything off the corner? No, big wobble. Come on, just calm it down. Calm it down. Still a long way to go in this race. Plenty of time for mistakes to be made, or just to wreck these tyres. Here goes MEJ. We'll let him have it. Not going to bother fighting that too much. Go, mate, and help me come with you, please, I beg. Luke and Jordan here are potentially starting to slow down a bit of a train. Look at MEJ go for it. On the run back down, risks into the pit lane then, so he's going to be way down at the rear of the field. But we've got to be able to try and get a run out of 2 there, as you can just see, almost 3 wide just in front of me. MEJ there, a bit of a slip up. Again, can we try and get the run up the hill? But they come back then on the McLaren, but the Aston Martin not particularly quick either. Heading up this straight. Try and get to the inside, give him some room, of course, on the exit. But we'll just about slot them back in front of the Super Swede. And I know I said that if he got past me, I wouldn't fight it, but yeah, at the moment, I think everyone's just got to try and take their chances. These hard tyres are still working quite nicely. I think we need to try and get past Luke. He seems to be the cork in the bottle. There's a lot of Spike there trying to go for Fernando Alonso tribute. Luke's hit the curbing, and he will lose the place to hot speed. Then he might be able to get the run off the corner. But this is just getting very, very feisty here. This does not fill me with confidence at the moment. Anything can go wrong in these sorts of battles. It just takes one person to make a bit of a mistake there, as Luke's done once again. They're 3 wide, almost off the corner. This is just a recipe for disaster. Spike is fair play to him, trying to go for moves wherever he can. They're tiny bit of decent's going to throw me off the line. As MEJ will say thank you very much. He'll claim the place again. I mean, look at this. We've got about 8 cars that are all just in such close quarters. At the moment, I'm going to brake early, down in towards that final corner. Do not want to run into the back of the car in front there, but Luke under so much pressure at the moment, but he is able somehow to stay in front of all these other cars. Here comes Barney. Look at that, 3 wide in front of me. As we head back down in towards turn 1 there, who's going to be the first to bail? As Barney very, very hot in. That'll be front wing damage, and I think he's hit those 2 other cars, and we just had nowhere to go in the middle. Barney not wanting to give anyone any room, and just felt like we got a bit pinched there. And now we're down into 11th place then in this Grand Prix. A tiny bit of front wing damage as well for us. What on earth happened there? And how come I'm the only one pretty much to get spun around? I think Barney got caught out in it as well, but we were trying to avoid Spike re-emerging. And Barney, of course, who caused that contact, forced that Aston Martin out wide. We just could not find a place to go. And like I said, I knew something was going to go badly wrong in all of that. And of course, it's me that gets involved. 10 laps to go then. I'm just monitoring those gaps up the road. Speedy with a 3-second penalty. Hot speed with a 5. So it might be a case of just trying to make sure we hang close to them towards the end, as here comes Risk Slow, about to relegate me back down into P12 once again this afternoon. Again, there's no point in me fighting this. To the inside, the Red Bull will go. Fresher tyres, quicker tyres, and of course a quicker driver as well. Certainly has brought a lot of extra pace into the second half this season. Has Risks, and I won't even get the DRS up the hill. Oh no, forgot about that as well. Maybe why he waited to make the move for as long as he did, as we've got another one gone. I think we're down to, what, 14 runners in this race? Nail's still behind me. He's a good guy, he doesn't quit either. Oh, we got more yellows. Luke's gone! Oh, Luke, what have you done late on in the day there? Less than 10 to go, and Luke Humperdinck, washed up league racer if ever I've seen one. He's now out of the points as well. Well, if I'm going to start losing tyre grip, how much more must those medium tyres be falling off? Honestly, this is giving me Hungary vibes from a few weeks ago, where I was adamant everyone else's tyres were going to go and none of them did there. As I'm wondering whether Luke's got a bit of front wing damage as well. Of course, ours is green. It's definitely, though, costing us a bit of performance around this lap, as you can only nudge that curb so many times and get away with it on F122. But in towards the final few laps, though, of this race, we've just got to keep doing what we're doing there, as you don't want to be out on that sand, Luke. It will cost you straight line speed. It's not a lot, but it definitely will there, as will we be able to put a move on our former rival. This one will be making it to the WOR highlights channel surely, as we try and put the ERS down on the run back towards turn 1 there. Luke Humberdinck versus myself. We'll try and give him a big old squeeze. Oh, this contact! Trying to move around in the braking zone there by both myself and my very good friend. Can we try and put the power down up the hill? We'll again use the ERS this time around. He's actually got the DRS though. How on earth has he managed that as we head up towards the top of the hill there? Big old squeeze again coming in from Luke Humberdinck. Can we find the run around the outside there? Speedy's gone as well in front. We're going to get squeezed out, and this is now a battle for the points late on in the day, but Luke hangs on for now. This is not over. What's worrying me in all this battling is just how much Nail's still taken out of me. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets back to me by the end of this race, the way Luke and I are probably going to end up battling right towards the very end there. Hot speed looks like he's been able to get away, as that's clearly how you avoid a 3-second penalty on that corner exit there. You don't actually, stay within track limits. You just run wide enough that the game thinks you've lost out there. That is your WOR coordinator, ladies and gentlemen. He's a filthy cheat as Jonah onto the pits, onto a set of soft compound tyres. So I'm completely lost now as to who is leading in this GP. But again, we'll get a run on Luke back down towards turn 1. Are we this time around going to be able to hook it up around the outside there? Just not a lot of grip. Oh, we'll have to give him some room. And I think once again, though, we'll get the DRS off the corner. But this time around, we get to the inside, though, as we head up the hill. It's not quite the real Mercedes, but it is still a jewel in the desert there as Luke runs a bit wide. Off corner exit. We can't quite put the power down again, though. And on all of this, I think Nail's taken about 4 seconds out of me in the space of the last 2 laps. So are we going to be able to get a run down the hill? No, Luke will again defend it. I need this point for my championship, potentially. Remember, of course, Nail is still one of my title rivals. I'm not even sure why Luke's shown up. We'll just make sure they get the DRS. This is Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, Canada 2013 goings on at the moment. As how much time has Nail taken out of me? Speedy is closing in as well there, as well. Again, try and get a run down the back straight. This time around, we'll show the nose. Luke will again just run slightly wide there, but he'll gather it back up. We'll maintain the speed as we head up the hill. As, yeah, we just got no grip there down around the outside, but I'm getting really worried how much time Nail's taken out of us. Of course, Speedy with that 3-second time penalty shouldn't be too much of a concern, but yeah, Nail, I'm still battling him in the championship. This point could be everything come the end of the season, but at the final corner again then, let's try and make a move and make it stick this time around then on Luke Humberdinck. See, trying to push him as far down to the wall as we possibly can there, side by side. Give him a big old squeeze. He again is going to dive it up the inside though. This time around, accidentally rub over the curbing. We'll try and see if we can get a good pickup up the hill. But again, he's going to get the DRS on me. I've got to stop giving him the DRS off the corner. To the inside we'll go. We've used practically all my battery as well, trying to fight this. No, Luke! Ah! That got close. I could have been side pod glitch there, but again, we both live to fight another day. Oh, where are you off, mate? Saudi Arabia's not next week. That's where he looked like he was heading down at the hairpin. Make sure again that I claim that DRS. And look at this, Speedy and Nail are getting so close there. But this time around I got fantastic pickup off the corner there. You can see he's having to use his battery. So we head down the back straight to the outside. We'll weave once again. Can we try and cut back underneath? Oh, we'll just about get the car there. But again, round the outside up the top of the hill is probably not going to be the place to go. Luke! Come on, mate. I need some room round there. This, rather annoyingly, is probably the best battle I'll have all season. It's basically 4-0 against a driver that doesn't normally race here, as we'll head side by side. We're both trying to get it. I think I got it. I think I still got the DRS though as we head out of the final corner. Yes, I did. But Speedy and Nail are both still right there. This time around, I have to make this move stick. We've got to go for it. Use all the battery as we head back down towards turn 1. I really need my teammate to come in clutch here and help me out. As, oh no, I've hit the curb. I ran way too deep in through turn 1. That'll allow Luke an opportunity around the outside, but we'll cover it off Again, we'll force him to the outside of us up the hill. He'll have the DRS this time round. We'll use some battery. Oh, come on. Just hang him out. Hang him out to dry, Matt. It's fine. You can do this. Just give him a bit of a squeeze there. We'll get the car just in front. And we are back through again. Oh, he's picked up a 3-second penalty. What on earth is this race late on? I have no idea, but now I need to try and run away there. Nail up into P12 by the looks of it. So, oh, come on, just slow the car down, cadence brake into the corner. We've lost so much time to those cars in front. But Luke, we've battled for far too long, mate. You better do me a favour late on in this race. Oh, I think Nail actually dived it down the inside there at the top of the hills. So Nail up through then into P11. So we are going to have to battle in for the final points paying position. Of course, I think he is on much fresher tyres. I can't remember if he just span or whether he did actually pit for fresh tyres as well there. But 3 laps to go here in Sakira. Again, we're going to have to try and go on the defensive, but I also need to try and save some battery ready for the final lap. I think Nail is having to do the same. So Luke will sit behind him once again. Whoa, big dive coming in at turn 1 there. Hello. Apparently we're getting more aggressive racing between now and the checkered flag, but again, we'll just about hang on to it. We'll try and go defensive as we head up the hill. Nail will look to the outside once again. Just be careful on the brakes. He has got a lot more grip than me. Whoa, no! Oi! Oh, we just about hung on to it. Tiny bit of contact with his rear tyre, but we all live to fight another day, and I need to stay within that range. Come on! Oh, we got more yellow flags. I think that's Jonah. Let's run into some issues. Top of the hill. We certainly won't get close enough again. Let's just see how much extra pace Nail has got at the moment. I think we've just got to try and get within the DRS as we head down the back straight. You can just see how much he's pulling away off the corners. Luke again running wide. And that battle might cost me a point here in Bahrain. That could come back to haunt me come the end of the year. 2 laps to go. Jonah's gone. Okay, we will be getting a point then this afternoon. So that's nice, but unfortunately it also means Nail will get 2. No, there we go. It's all over. The dream's dead. 3-second time penalty in towards the final lap of this race. We've got yellow flags out. I think Speedy might have had a moment. But yeah, unfortunately, of course, I mean, it happened at Hungary a few weeks ago where Nail got penalty onto the final lap, and I managed to reclaim the position against him. But yeah, all that battling with Luke, I think, has really cost us come the end of this one. But yeah, very, very chaotic race here in Saudi Arabia. Like I said, I don't actually know which AlphaTauri it is. I can't remember who's actually in that car, but I think Jordan. So I'm for a very, very good P2 as well there, and hats off to him. He's had such a rough early leg of this campaign. Absolutely deserves a podium result. I don't think that's his first podium of the year, but if it is, then that's another car that's got one before I've been able to achieve one this season. But yeah, again, another race where lacked a lot of pace in qualifying. Actually felt like my race pace was pretty decent around here, but unfortunately just the wrong place at the wrong time on 2 occasions is going to be another opportunity that goes begging there. But you know what, we had some good battles anyway. You sort of think, had we not had the safety car, we would have just been pretty much by myself throughout the entirety of this race run. I think Risk's probably a bit gutted as well to be as far down the order as he is. Of course, it's Chris, isn't it? Bottled the Belgian Grand Prix a few weeks back, if you remember, so absolutely hats off to him. A very, very well-deserved win here tonight. Has shown tremendous pace throughout a lot of the early stages, just has not had the luck. My tyre wear warning lights just flashed up, so I have no idea how we've got away with that, as Risks has retired? What on earth has happened? On the final lap of this race, a Ferrari's in the wall as well. Don't think we'll claim any places because of it, sadly. Well, we'll get the 1 place over Risks, but no idea what's happened there then. Up towards the start-finish line, a Ferrari's limped home. Don't know who that is either, but we're going to come through then for P9, apparently. I don't really know how. Well, there we are then, having a look at our final race results. 2 points is hardly a big tally, but you know what, considering we could have quit like a lot of other people did early on, I will absolutely take him there. Chris takes the win, Sabi in P2, so I apologise, Jordan actually wasn't here tonight, so all those positive words I take back. MEJ still recovered a P3 ahead of Spike and Adrian there with Trap. Hot Speed, Nail, myself, and Luke somehow gets a point. Doesn't deserve it, but he does get a point there come the end of the day, finishing out just ahead of Speedy. Risks, Barney, Jonah, Zombor, Amberbale, Demi, Ivo, Niels, and Manny all failing to make it to the checkered flag. It really was a race of attrition here in Bahrain. But thank you all so much for watching nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we will return very, very soon with more F1 League racing action.